Welcome again to the September edition of the famed Kelly and Jeff show. This month, our Simply Well, Aging Well seminar series. This month, we're talking about senior-friendly exercises and safe and effective workouts for older adults. We did something very similar last year, really concentrating on fall prevention, and a lot of this has to do with that as well. Just staying upright, that's sometimes that's a difficult thing to do. But just to introduce everyone to us again, I'm Jeff Turcott.
I'm Kelly Kurtz.
We are a husband and wife team. We're realtors, but we're different. And we are certified senior housing professionals. And we had some extensive training a few years ago to do the work that we do. Just also want to mention that we do have some sponsors this year as well. Heywood Wakefield Commons in Gardner. Christy is unable to be here today. Actually, Heywood Wakefield Commons is celebrating their 14th year anniversary this week. Nice. So that's really exciting. It's a great place. We're so happy that they've been sponsoring us and they're on board. Also, the Gables in Fitchburg, a senior living community there right on John Fitch. Patty Peterson is a big supporter of ours as well. And the newest sponsor is Lutheran Rehabilitation and Lillie Mansion in Worcester. And as always, NXT Level Studios, our videographer, putting this all on a video for watching in the future. So quickly a little bit about what we do. Simply Well Seniors is a soup to nuts service, real estate service, where we help downsizing, decluttering, folks that have lived in their home for a very, very long time, sometimes 20, 30, 40. We helped a woman move that lived in her house most of her life.
Yeah, over almost 60 years.
Yeah. So when you call us, there's just one phone call to be made. So from helping someone figure out where they want to go and research that, to getting them there with move management services, and then cleaning the home, rehoming a lot of possessions, to then actually selling the home. You can do that with one phone call. So I wanted to share recently a review that was written for us, that a job that we just completed. This was written by someone who we helped. As a durable power of attorney and executor of my cousin, I faced a Herculean task of overseeing her finances and managing her move to assisted living. This necessitated the sale of her antique home and its overwhelming contents. Thankfully, Kelly Kurtz and Jeff Turcott was recommended to me by an elder care professional. Kelly and Jeff not only managed emptying the home and finding the best avenues for her property, but also cleaning the home in preparation for its sale. Their marketing strategy was spot on for a home that had limited appeal to a wide variety of homeowners. Her communication skills, Kelly's, was outstanding and extremely critical for me, as I did not live nearby and was under significant stress. Once the house sold, Kelly and Jeff took the lead, walking me through the inspection, repairs, and closing. They were always available to answer my questions and or hold my hand during 5 challenging months. I give Kelly and Jeff my highest recommendation and praise. Very nice. So that was, it's really nice to see that. And she expressed that to us multiple times while the process was going on as well. So it was nice to see her put it in writing. So.
I know sometimes we can tell you we can do this, this, and this, but it's nice when someone else says it in their words, so we can confirm that what we're telling you is real, that we do this stuff and we enjoy doing it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So recently we were at a very similar situation. This family lives out of town, and the house is in Fitchburg, and the same kind of thing needs to happen. And so we gave them references. One of them was that person that wrote that review, because when we told, it was the wife, when we told her what we could do, her eyes lit up. She says, "You'll take care of all of this?"
Yeah. Because right now they're driving down from Vermont, like 3.5 hour ride each way to try to do little things. And so they didn't realize services existed to be able to help with all of it. So it's nice.
So anyway, all right. So today we're talking about exercise and why exercise is essential for aging adults, including myself. Some of the things we know, exercise slows muscle and bone loss and reduces the risk of fractures and falls. We'll talk a little bit more about falls. Also improves heart health, lowers blood pressure, and reduces chronic disease, the risk of chronic disease. We all know physical activity boosts brain health, lowering dementia and depression risks, which is a big concern if you're not moving. Enhances balance, flexibility, and mobility to maintain independence. Kelly's been seeing a personal trainer. Tell everyone a little bit about the balance part of the training.
I joined a gym thinking I've got to start doing some regular exercise, and there was a girl that was a trainer at this gym, and I saw her working with other people. So I took one of her cards. I thought, I can do this on my own. But I found I'd go and I'd walk on the treadmill for 10 minutes, and I'd be like, a couple sit-ups. I think it's time to leave now. So I wasn't really pushing myself or doing anything, but I always had a lot of limitations in my shoulder, my hip, which I didn't realize until I started working with her, and she did some balance assessment and some functional mobility assessment. And the limitations that I had in my shoulder, my knee, my hip were causing me to compensate when I was doing the exercises. I thought I was doing right, but I was really instead of lifting my shoulder, I'm bending here, or I'm doing things that aren't really working the right muscles. So I was finding out that I wasn't doing things right for a long time. So she's taken me way back, and we're really working on basic motions. But that's why when we learn more about from Nina and Wendy today, sometimes starting with a professional that really can assess you personally versus just being always in a group setting, at least have a couple sessions where someone's really looking at your mobility and your range of motion, can help avoid a future injury because you're doing something wrong, or you're lifting with your back instead of your legs. I found I was doing a lot of that as well. So I've learned a lot of new things, even with my background as an occupational therapist. I'm learning things that I didn't really even pick up on myself, because you don't look at yourself sometimes in that way. You're always watching someone else's motion, but you're not realizing you're not doing it right yourself. So it's interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's always good. We talk about unintentional injuries, 10 causes of death among older adults, and number one cause is falls. It just compounds, after a fall after someone has a fall. And a lot of older adults don't actually say anything. They have a fall and, okay, that's fine. They got back up again and they're fine. But the injuries can persist.
Yeah, we've had quite a few people, well, not a lot, but a handful of folks that when we were helping them downsize, I'd get to their house in the morning for a scheduled appointment, and the husband said, my wife fell last night, but she got up. We got up. It was at 2 a.m. She didn't want to tell anybody, because if we tell my daughter, she's going to want us to move. So they keep a lot of the falls quiet, and they don't want people to know. But what we know happens is you can have a bleed in your brain. You can have a lot of things that can be a result of that by keeping it quiet. So it's always good to identify. But people are so afraid that they're going to lose their independence if they tell somebody that they fell. So to keep that in mind, some of these exercises and things that we're doing are geared towards prevention, but falls happen. Jeff and I both have fallen. Jeff's fallen, broken his ankles, both ankles, not at the same time, but two different ones. So he's done it twice good.
Right.
And I fell off a step stool maybe a year and a half ago, hanging some curtains. We were staging a house, and it was 2 steps. I mean, I've been on it 1,000 times, stepped back down to get off, and my foot got caught on my other foot, and the whole step stool kind of fell over, and I just landed on my arm and on my shoulder. And I didn't break anything, but I had such a bad sprain that it lasted for months. And literally, I'm left-handed, and it was my left hand, and it was really, really difficult to do a lot of stuff. So you think you're doing something you do every day, and all of a sudden something happens. So just to be as strong and as versatile as you can with your ankles and your feet and everything, to be fall-proof if possible.
So that's what we just talked about. Falls obviously are a leading cause of traumatic brain injuries. It's a cascade of events. So how exercise can transform seniors' lives. Strength training restores bone density with age, preventing osteoporosis. Low impact activities like some of what we're going to go over today. Walking, yoga, swimming, ease arthritis pain. Regular movement increases energy, self-confidence, social engagement as well, being together with other people. Every 3 sessions in 10-minute, even 3 sessions of 10 minutes daily. I need my glasses. Even 3 sessions of 10 minutes daily can significantly improve health. So,
Yeah, we're finding as people are on their computers, iPhones or iPads and things, or even just watching TV, even reading, your head and your neck are flexed, just sitting a lot. We're sitting a lot more than we used to, driving places, not walking as much as we used to do. So even just getting up and stretching. And I know one of the things that my trainer has asked me to do is to stand in the doorway and just kind of put my arms on either side and lean into it to try to stretch some of the muscles and get my posture back, because we just are all stooped now, and it's really, it's just happening. So it's kind of like aging, and just posture of activities. Sitting at a computer is not good.
Exactly. So we invited back a couple of our friends to go over some activities. So we'll introduce our friends first, and then we'll go into some activities.
Yeah.
So first.
So I'm going to introduce Nina first. This is Nina Rajeski. Nina and I have known each other for maybe 10 or 12 years, maybe more.
Yeah.
We worked together at Summit Elder Care, but Nina has been a physical therapy assistant for many years. She just recently retired, so let's clap for that. And she's a warrior in the gym. So she worked at Health Alliance and worked at Burbank Hospital, if any of you remember that back in the day. She also worked for Health Alliance Home Health and Hospice and Knollwood Nursing Home. And we met up at Summit Elder Care, which is the last place she just retired from. So we're thrilled to have Nina here. She's a wealth of information. She's a spitball of fire. She's got great assessment skills and is really, really fun to work with. So I'm going to introduce her, and then I'm going to introduce Wendy, and then they'll play off each other with what they have presented for you. But Wendy Williams has a Master of Science in Elementary Education. Her passion and profession has always been involved in education. She is a certified health coach, a 200-hour Yoga Alliance certified yoga facilitator, a personal fitness trainer, and trainer of Silver Sneakers, which is, she's going to talk a little bit about the Silver Sneakers program today. She loves helping people move easily, and she aspires to be a super ager. So we're thrilled to have both of them. They're going to go through some exercise and activity with you. But before we start, just so they can get a sense, how many of you do regular exercise or would consider yourself fairly active? Okay, super. And is there any... Does anybody currently go to a gym, or are you mostly doing walking or things at home? Both. Okay. Excellent. Good. And so then you can all, which is probably part of the reason you're here, because you want to be involved in exercise and activity and learning new tricks and tips. But I think we would all agree that being active definitely keeps you feeling more vibrant, healthy, and have better days than if you're just sitting in the couch or sitting in a recliner all day. So I'm going to turn it over to Nina first, and then we'll go with Wendy next. And
you want us to stand, or does
you
it
can
matter?
sit or stand. We have chairs, so if it's easier, some of the stuff sitting, but if you want to stand, however you are comfortable.
So hello, everybody. I'm Nina, physical therapist assistant, just retired in June.
Yay.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about myself and my motivation to retire in June. If I had stayed till the last hurrah, it probably would have been retiring in November. And I didn't want to risk being swallowed by my recliner. Come the cold and the dark, that probably would have been my MO, is to then just pull the covers over my head. So I made the executive decision, and the great one, to retire in June. At which point I immediately went to the Leominster YMCA and joined the gym. So I go every day to at least one class, if not on some days, 3 classes, depending on the schedule. And I walk 2 days a week with some of my girlfriends in the morning before they have to go to work. So I want to also be a super ager as well. Just wanted to keep going and get my routine down, get a planned schedule so that I would keep moving. Because as you know, the less we do, the less we do. So it's best to keep moving because something is better than nothing. And it doesn't have to be going to 3 classes at the YMCA every day, but something is better than nothing. And again, as we know, motion is lotion. So if we're lubricating our joints, we're moving and we're going to move better because of it. And those are my pearls of wisdom for all of you. There. So words to live by. Yes. And we got to stick by it, right? I have to walk the walk if I'm talking the talk. So basically, strength, flexibility, and balance are your friends. And those are going to be one of the best things that you can do, maintain, and improve on in order to achieve stability and basically to help prevent falls. Again, falls is the leading cause of injury and to folks 65 and older. You got a little way to go yet.
I'm 65.
So there we are. And if Kelly said, if you fall, you run the risk of trauma. Are we going to break our hip? Are we going to fracture our shoulder? Are we going to have a head trauma? Absolutely possible. There's pain, there's impaired function. Along with that, you have a reduction in your confidence, right? So one fall might lead to another fall, and that gets in your head because there's always that fear of falling again. And that is a great possibility because one fall can lead to another fall if you're not nipping it in the bud right away. And then, as Kelly also said, there's potential for loss of independence. So I wanted to talk a little bit about footwear before we do anything. And I want you all to look at how adorable I am in my cute little shoes. I'm just adorable in my cute little shoes that are not, look at how cute I am. So nice, it's matchy-matchy, and I look adorable, but these are doing nothing for my feet, and I'm certainly not going to go to the Y and exercise in these shoes. So I'm going to change my shoes and I'm going to put on my sneakers, and I'm not going to be as cute, but I'm going to be stable and I'm going to be able to move and I'm going to not have a fear of falling when I do so. One of the things I wanted to touch on is when you're putting on your footwear, and yes, always, always, always your shoes, never your stocking feet. That has just had disaster written all over it. And we talk a little bit about being in your bare feet, but I also am always concerned about folks that might have a little problem with their sensation. So if you have a little problem with sensation, bare feet might not be the answer for you either, because you can step on things and never notice it. So always, always, always some form of sneaker or good shoes or whatever you have that's going to give you good support on your feet. And your physician or your podiatrist can always give you suggestions on what kind of footwear might be best for you, especially if you have any problems with your feet.
One thing, if I can interject while you're tying, when Nita and I worked together, a funny story that I always think of, we had a client who kept complaining that their shoe was hurting and their foot was hurting. And so Phil was one of the PTs that we work with. He took the shoe off to take a look at their foot. And we found one of those little round cat toys stuffed in the shoe. but they had such bad sensation in their feet that they
never
didn't
did
know
know
that
it.
that was in their
Wow.
foot all day
Wow.
in their
Right.
shoe.
It's
But
the
that
best
finally,
in
when
the
the shoe
shoe.
came off, that we found the toy,
Toy.
and we laughed
so
about it after.
crazy.
But I mean,
Yes.
that's the kind of stuff that with diabetes or neuropathy
Right.
that you can
just don't-
you don't
don't.
understand. So shake your
Right.
shoes up before you put them on.
And also when you're putting your shoes on or your, whatever, if you have Velcro sandals or whatever it is, tap your heel to the back before you fasten that. So I'm just tapping my heel down a little bit. Get my foot back into the back of your shoe or whatever, and then go ahead and give it a tie, right? Then you know you're in there and you're going to be able to tie it appropriately and securely so that you're not sloshing around. All right, there we go. Now I'm ready to exercise because I got my
Yes,
good
you are.
footwear on. Jeff did touch a little bit about posture, and I wanted to talk just to Tish about the posture as well. So, good posture will help you to maintain your balance, your stability, and also reduce your risk of falls. So the way that we want to talk about posture is, right, stand up, right? Got that string through my tailbone coming off the top of my head. And a couple of things that will help you to do that is, so I'm going to exaggerate just a tish, but if I'm standing like this, I got no place to breathe, right? It's hard for me to lift my hip up to take that step because I'm all compressed on myself. Number one thing, lift up your head. If you're looking up, you're going to stand up. There's no place else but where your body can go is up if your head is up. So look up, look where you're going, right? You can still look ahead and look at the floor so that you can see what's in front of you, but I don't need to look at my feet. Hopefully my brain is telling my feet what to do. So the minute I pick my head up, I'm going to come up a little bit. The other thing I'm going to ask you to think about on a regular basis when you're upright, tuck in your tummy, right? Engage your core. So if I'm here, I lift my head up and I zip up those tight jeans, I'm here, right? This is great. I can lift my hip, I can see everything, and I'm going to be a little bit more stable. So those couple of things to be prepared to do when you're standing. It takes a second, right? So if I'm coming and I'm standing up, I'm going to get myself ready. I'm going to lift my head up, I'm going to tuck in my tummy, and now I'm ready to go. So think of those couple of things. It also helps with your breathing because now I'm upright and there's room for me to fill my lungs. It helps with your digestion, which is kind of oddly weird, but also helps a little bit with your socialization. Because if I'm walking and I constantly have my head down and I'm not looking at anybody or talking to anybody, I lift my head up and now I see this beautiful room of people. So it will help with that. Okay, next on the agenda, I want to talk a little bit about your posture, but also making the 4 points of contact. You might have that in there.
Yeah, it should be
right?
on the back of the first
Yeah,
page.
4 points of contact in your feet. So I'm lifting my head, I'm zipping up my tight jeans that I'm going to tuck in my tummy a little bit, and I'm going to think about where my foot is in space. So I'm consciously, that's hard to say, trying to feel those 4 points in my feet when I'm standing. I'm not pitched forward on the ball of my feet. I'm not popped back on my heel all the time. I'm standing in the center. I'm almost like I'm in cement. And my posture, my balance right now, if you came over and pushed me over, you probably wouldn't be able to. But if I'm tucked forward onto the balls of my feet or I'm hinged back on my heels all the time, you're wobbly. So this is going to help you when you're exercising, and just standing posture will help you. Just keeping your balance even when you're standing. So 4 points of contact, very important. And also when you're exercising, think about where you are in space, right? And I've finished doing a couple of exercises. Stand on both feet. Am I touching those 4 points of contact on the floor? Okay, now I might put you folks to work a little bit. So if you are able and want to, I'm going to ask you to stand for me. You don't have to, but if you would like to. Okay. And you can stand next to your chair, either behind your chair or next to your chair or near the table, wherever, so that it's there, the table or the chair is there for you to touch if you need to keep your balance. So one of the things, assessment tools that we used in physical therapy is this 4-test balance scale. So it is 4 positions that I'm going to ask you to put your feet in, and I'm going to ask you to maintain it for 10 seconds without hanging on to anything if you can. And it will get progressively harder and harder as we go. For the test, it doesn't matter right now, but if I was actually having you go through this, number one, if you couldn't get into the position, then it would be a moot point. The minute you lost your balance and had to touch, then that would be the end of the test. Then we wouldn't progress further. But do they have these?
Yes.
Okay, so this piece of paper that you have, we often would give these foot placement as part of your exercise program. So I would send you home with this and say, try to stand in this position like you were standing on a tightrope for 10 seconds and work up from there. So we would often use this also as an exercise. All right, so first one, stand with your feet close together. Arms are down by your side, and we're going to just stand there for 10 seconds, I'm going to guesstimate. Great. Perfect. Anybody swaying a little bit? Everybody good? Okay, perfect. Next one. One foot in front of the other. You can kind of see that picture, and it doesn't matter right or left, whatever you choose, just sort of like that. I don't know if you can see my feet, right? There it is. Just not yet, just a little bit.
Oh, just a little
Just
bit.
a little bit,
Okay.
right? So I'm here. Good.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
This way. Can you see me? Yep. Good.
yeah.
Got it?
We went right to the
Here.
hard one.
Okay. 10 seconds. You all been there? Go ahead. Take your time. Switch your feet. So whatever was the one in the front, put behind. There you go. Hang on if you need to change the position. Good.
Stay close so I can hang on.
Yeah, I know. Don't fall over.
both
You
go down together.
tumblers.
We're both going
We're
together.
2 tumblers over here. Stay away from me. I'm going to the gym. All right, good enough. Now you're going to choose one foot in front of the other. It doesn't matter which one. Like you're standing on a tightrope. If you need to, hang on to get into the position. So hang on to get into the position if you need to. If you can, let go. That's a little tougher. Think about the 4 points of contact, right? Am I on both feet? Yeah, yes, good. Okay, hang on, switch the feet. Good, and then let go and try to keep your balance. There you go. And we'll-
I find that if you look down, you can't balance it.
it's hard.
It is hard.
Yes,
That's
yes,
true.
absolutely. All right, and I won't necessarily make you do the last one. You can if you want to. Hang on, try to get into the position where you just lift one leg about an inch off the floor. Stay near a chair, stay near the table. Can you do it? Yes, yeah, it's hard. And think about that for 4 points of contact. I'm wibbly wobbly. Okay, put that foot down, try the other one. Hang on if you need to, right? And one side you may find is a little bit stronger, a little bit better balance. And it makes no rhyme or reason to me. Like it's not always your dominant, but I can stand better on my non-dominant side and maintain my balance than I can on the other, which is weird. So that's one of the tests that we use for balance, but also these exercises, these positions standing at your sink at home, and work on that every day, right? Stand at the sink so you got something to hang on to, and then just try those positions, and then just try to increase your time. If you can do, 30 seconds, yay. That would be awesome. Okay, everybody can sit back down.
Can I just throw in a
Sure,
quick?
yes, please.
I was just going to add that on any given day, our balance may feel more pertinent or just more stable on one side than the other on any given day. And as Nina said, no rhyme or reason, really.
Yes.
Same thing with strength. Some days you may feel your right side is really great, ready to go, but the left side is feeling weak. Tomorrow could be something totally different. We are human. We are not symmetrical. That's what it comes down to.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Some of the other things that we would assess that we think about when we're talking about mobility and a balance, we have a whole assessment tool that we would go through that would start off with, how are you sitting in your chair, right? So I would look at somebody and I'd say, how are you sitting in your chair? Well, are they kind of slumped to one side? Can they sit upright? Are they okay? You know, it starts from there. And then it would go over things like, can you rise from the chair without using your hands, which we're going to do in just a little bit. So keep that in the back of your mind. I know that's a tough one. Can you turn 360 degrees and keep your balance? A lot of the folks that we work with absolutely could not do that. That was a huge challenge. How are your step lengths when you take your steps? Are you walking with equal step lengths? Are you walking with your heels and, heel toe pattern? I'm going to show you that in a second. Or are you shuffling? Oh boy, shuffling's a tough one. Pick those feet up, because that shuffling, you'll catch on something. And when I say a heel toe gait pattern, right, I'm going to slow it way down. So when I take my step, I'm coming off my toe and I'm hitting my heel. Then I'm going to shift my weight. I'm going to come off my toe of that back leg, swing forward, hit my heel. If I had a nickel for every time, I'd say, hit that heel, pick that foot up, just hit your heel. If you're hitting your heel, you're going to pick your toes up. There's no place else for them to go. Hit your heel, I could have retired about 45 years ago. But, right? Think about that. Am I hitting that heel every time I walk? Hit that heel. No scuffing, no shuffling. Hit that heel. It'll save you from clipping those toes. All right. Okay. So another exercise, strangely enough, that we do, and it's part of balance, is we ask people to stand from chairs. It's going to be might be a little challenging in here because I can't go through the whole thing, but we'll ask you to sit in a chair with an arm. We're going to ask you I would ask you to stand. The ultimate goal is to stand without using your hands, is what the ultimate goal of this would be. But I would start you off, okay, so we're sitting in a chair with two arms, use the arms, can you stand for me? And then I would watch what you would do, right? So if I can't come out of the chair and I'm doing this and I'm trying to get up, well, we got work to do, right? So then I would say, okay, can you do it? If they could do it with two hands, no problem. Come on up, stand up. Their balance is good on that first stand. Nobody's wibbly wobbly. Awesome. We're going to try a little bit harder. We're going to try pushing with one hand. It didn't matter right or left. Most times I would say to folks, use your dominant hand. Push from the armrest with your dominant hand. Can you stand? Yep. One try. They're up. Great. You're up. You got good balance. Perfect. And then the kicker is, can you stand without using your hands? And a lot of times I would add this to the exercise program. So can you stand? And if you want to try it, scoot your chairs back, right? The kicker with this one also, remember, nose over toes. So my nose is going to come over my feet when I come up. I'm coming up and over my toes, nose over toes, come up. Perfect. Sometimes it's hard, right? And so we would use that. How many times can you do that in 30 seconds? Yeah, can you do it 10 times in a row? So sure, one time is pretty good. But if I'm asking you to do that 5 or 10 times in a row, then that might be the challenge for you, right? So nose over toes, come up over your feet, and then do those 4 points of contact the minute you come up, because then you'll be in your cement, you'll be steady. So another exercise that we would use for balance. Great. Okay, we're almost there. You're doing okay?
Yeah, great.
All right. And then lastly for me, so I did ask Kelly and Jeff to do that standing exercise, as part of an exercise program as well. And then the last bit was just the handout with all the exercises on it, incorporating some of the balance, which is just that, standing with your feet, like you're on a tightrope and whatnot, lifting your leg up. And then there's a whole bunch more exercises that we use for balance. Can you walk a step to the side in one direction and the other? Again, often recommending that folks stand at your sink because for the most part, you've got a little bit of a countertop that you could go. Some folks if they're not at home and they live in a facility like Heywood, Wakefield, they might have a railing in the hallway. And so I could say go out in the hallway and hang on to the railing if you need it, or at least have something there just in case you needed it. So walking backwards, again, hang on, but can you walk backwards? Can you walk on your toes? Can you walk on your heels? So these are all great exercises for balance, walking in a figure eight. So this is a lot of times what we would give our folks as their home exercise program to help to get their strength, their flexibility, and their balance back. So something is better than nothing. A little bit to start. There's no right, there's no wrong. If you're doing a little something, absolutely, kudos to you. Start off slow and then just work your way up from there.
Excellent. I know a lot of times, like you'd say, well, why would I walk backwards? We're not going to walk backwards. But so many times functionally in your house, you'll do something that you might have to take a couple of steps backwards. One thing that we see people doing sometimes is sweeping their steps. Like they might have a dustpan and a brush and they start at the top and they sweep it and they take a step down and do the next. So you're going backwards, reciprocal motion down the stairs. You might do a figure eight because you walk into a room and you remember you forgot what you needed, but you don't know what it was. But you do that quick turnaround we've all done, and that's your figure eight. And it's in a quick hurry because now you're like a little bit distracted. So these are functional things that could potentially, these exercises she's saying will build up that ability to do that. So when you're doing something at home, you're more likely to be used to doing that motion and less likely to fall. So that's the reason behind a lot of it. Super job, Nina. Yeah.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
good.
Good job, Nina. That was great.
All right, Wendy, we're going to turn it over to you.
All right. So my name is Wendy Williams, and Kelly gave you a little synopsis of my background. I started as an elementary school teacher way back when, was one of the least athletic people I've ever known. And some reason in my 40s, I started working out. And I was always pretty active as a kid, but just not an athlete by any way, shape, or form. But I started working out and I loved it. I fell in love with it. And I started my kids as babies at our local YMCA to get them into the swimming program. And so as a result, I became more and more of an active member, became a staff member, moved up here, and I've been working at the Y here in Leominster and also in Fitchburg, where I had just come from for the last 8 years. I have been a silver sneakers facilitator for probably 15 years or so. I jumped in on the training when it was first starting, and it is a fabulous program. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it, but I'm here to attest to Nina coming to my classes now that she's a retiree.
Because I can go to the 9:30 class.
She can. And so what I'm here to do is, number one, take you through a little bit of exercise, kind of, and just pick up a little bit on what Nina was saying and share with you what I do, but also to promote the YMCA, which is a wonderful place. There are so many great classes there. The Fitchburg Y also has a swimming pool, and I do also lead water aerobics classes. And I can tell you, if you've not been in the water in years, it is worth it. I am such a proponent for everyone get in the water. The benefits of the water, the properties of the water allow us to do things that we can't do on land. And it's just amazing. It allows a lot of buoyancy. And as a result, when we work with these foam weights underwater, and once they're under the surface, there's a lot of resistance. And the resistance is something like 12 or 17% greater under the water than it is on land. So that gives you an idea, and just the movement you can get in the water is incredible. So I highly recommend it. As a result, I talked to my supervisor this morning, and she's left me a number of cards, business cards with her name, Lori. Now I just lost her last name, but anyway, on the back, it is an opportunity for you to use the Y for a day. It's a free pass. So I hope you take advantage. I will ask you to take with 1 or 2 with you. So if you don't get to the Y, maybe you know someone who would like to, but also within the Y, I'm leading Silver Sneakers classes. And is there anyone here who is a Silver Sneakers participant? Has anyone heard of Silver Sneakers? Okay, so you probably see them advertised a lot. They are a fabulous program. They are a free program to participants. And if you're not sure if your health insurance company is a provider of Silver Sneakers, check with them. I had a list, but it changes, so I don't have the most current list. I know Mass Advantage that I have now is unfortunately not a participant with Silver Sneakers, but there are many. I know Humana is one. I'm pretty sure Tufts also. Anyway, it's worth it. What Silver Sneakers does is, number one, provide you with great programming. You can go to any gym that offers Silver Sneakers on Silver Sneakers, and you don't have to participate in the classes. You can go and just use the facility. But Silver Sneakers is a great benefit, so it's worth checking into. What else did I want to say? I think that was about all I wanted to say about that. Other than the Silver Sneakers classes I lead are, number one, the basic class, and I'll do a lot of what Nina talked about too. I'll do a lot with balance. I'll do a lot with weight shifting. We were talking about, just falling into a place when we stand with our feet apart. Can you shift your weight without feeling like you're going to fall on your face? This is important if you get pushed a little bit, if you just lose your balance and, now what do I do? So all of these things are really important. And the other thing, going back to Dina's walking gait, I've gotten into the heel, ball, toe. So think about that as you walk too, to avoid the shuffling. And then one other thing, cute shoes. I have cute shoes today too, but my cute shoes are okay because they have traction.
Yes.
They are keen, so they are totally closed. I'm not wearing socks with them today, but these are safe for me to wear for exercising because I know there's traction. My feet are enclosed and they're comfortable. So now I'm going to ask you all to do one thing while you're sitting. Keep your feet grounded. Think about those 4 points Nina mentioned at the heel and then below the big toe and the pinky toe. Now, with those points really pressing into the floor, can you lift and lower your toes freely within your shoes? Or maybe separate your toes. If you can, that's great. If you can't, you might consider new shoes. They might be a little tight. That's something to think about as well. You really want to have the opening and just the room to be able to move your toes freely. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Are there any questions at this point? All right, so what I'd like to...
question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If your insurance does not pay for Silver Sneakers, is there a way to obtain it somehow?
So for me, I don't even know if my insurance, but I joined the Y. So for a senior to join the Y, it's like $20 a month. But I can take that class even though I am not a Silver Sneakers member because I joined the Y.
Right.
So I pay to access the Y. I can go
And
to
then
class
you
there.
can come to any class.
But if you can go Silver Sneakers, if your insurance covers the Silver Sneakers, then they will pay.
That's your into the...
That's the end. Oh, it doesn't.
My other plan, but I don't.
And I
You
I don't believe I do either.
And it's sad that a lot of plans don't have it. And I don't understand. It is
Yes.
so important. And the more active we can stay,
Right.
and I mentioned I consider myself a super ager. I plan to continue to be. I just turned 65 this summer, so I'm a baby. But I saw the Rolling Stones 2 summers ago. Mick Jagger, who is 82, is still rocking. He's amazing. I look at Mick Jagger. If he's still doing that, he's got nothing on us. And his buddy Keith Richards, and we've all heard stories about Keith Richards, he's still rocking it. So if Keith and Mick can do it, we have this. We so have this. So what I wanted to do this morning, and it's not quite silver sneakers, but it's close. This is called a 10-minute workout. And the idea is that just to get started, like Nina said, we want to just keep moving. And the more we move, the better we are. But even if you start off little, I am one who goes incrementally. When I was 20, I would go full on. I'm not 20 anymore, so nothing's full on, and that's okay. So I will start little and then build up. And what I'd like to do this morning, this 10-minute workout is divided into 4 minutes of cardio, which, by the way, since we're all sitting here kind of letting the cardio go by the wayside, that does count as resistance. Just saying. Okay. Da-dum-dum. Anyway. All right. So for the first 4 minutes, we're going through a cardio HIIT workout, 30 seconds higher intensity, followed by 30 seconds lower. And we're going to do this all from our chair. So ideally, we're going to shift the chair back away from the table so you have space. I'm going to put a little music on in the background. And just to give you an example, so now I'm sitting a little bit closer to the front edge of my chair. And I often talk about alignment, and Nina talked about the line maybe pulling up your head and keeping you nice and long. I often refer to a line that goes from your earlobes in a sitting position, earlobes to shoulders to hips. So your upper body is nice and upright. And then from the sitting part, essentially, hips and knees are lined up, knees are just above the ankles. When we march in place, we lift our feet up. There we go. I will be mirroring you, so when I say right foot, I'll be using my left, but you'll see me. Can you all see me from a seated position? Can you see my legs moving in the back row and all? Yeah? Kind of sore. I can center myself,
Yeah,
too.
if you want to go in here.
All right, I will do that. All right, so for the first 4 minutes, we're going to be marching in place. And I feel like I should take us through a little bit of a warm-up first. So why don't I? All right, I'm going to shift my chair forward. And I'm sorry for my back
that's
to
all
you. Now, if I'm here, can you all see me okay? Okay. So now, the reason I asked you to sit forward in your chair is to avoid support from the back if you can avoid it. This way, we work our core muscles a whole heck of a lot more strongly. We have core muscles in the front. These deep abdominal muscles, people talk about six packs. Don't worry about it. Six packs mean nothing. We have front abdominals, the deep, deep, deep ones. Side abdominals, our obliques, the intercostal muscles, our back muscles, our spine. This all creates our core. The stronger we can keep our core, the stronger we will be in general. We'll be able to walk. We'll be able to get from sitting to standing and sit back down with no issues. We'll be able to do a whole lot. The other thing I like to talk about is chest and shoulders. Chest up and proud. Shoulders back down and away from the ears. Sometimes I'll go through a whole series of let's lift our shoulders. Roll back, down, and away. Feel your shoulder blades rolling together. That's the key. We want to avoid this. Many of us have gotten into this position over the years because of the advent of computers and now devices, whatever. It's so easy. I never cue forward shoulder exercises. Never. Always go back. Always go back. Always go back. Really key. So now one more time. Ears above shoulders, shoulders above hips, hips and knees in line, knees above ankles. All good. Head up, held proud. All right, here we go. Little music coming up. Little Stevie Wonder for your listening and moving pleasure. Right leads. We're marching in place. We're picking our knees up a little higher so we can avoid shuffling. Here we are. We're going to keep our march going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, little heel taps. Right heel, right, left. And now we add a little bit of bending the arms at the elbows.
How about that coordinated?
Bicep curl arms with heel taps. 8 more. 8, 7, 6.
Don't watch us.
5, 4 more. 4, 3, 2 more each side. Last one, marching left foot lead, left, right. So we're still sitting up nice and tall. How's your back feeling? Everybody good?
Yep.
Do you feel like your upper body has gotten a little taller? Heel taps, left and right, left, right. Add those bicep curl arms again. Let's do 8 more. 8 each side. 7, 6, 5. Feeling silly, are we? 4, 3, 2 more. Last one. Marching right foot lead. Right, left. Little changes coming. Just the right foot taps out. And in, stay right.
Oops.
Stay right. 2 more. 1 more. Left leg. Same move for 4, 3, 2. How's you doing back there? Run. Fast feet. We're going for a run. And I'll count us down from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Marching left, right. All right. So that was our warm-up. Feel pretty good? That was the warm-up. So let me ask you a question. That was just seated marching in place with some pumping, a little bit of heel digs to the front and a little bit of biceps. Do you feel like you did a little bit of work there?
Yes, absolutely.
Unbelievably, you can get one heck of a workout just sitting in your chair. Because, number one, with sitting at the front edge, you are really depending on your core to keep you upright. And if it's staying here, then the rest of you is going to be right here. So that's a cool thing. All right, we're going to go through our 10-minute workout. I'm going to grab my water, and if you do not have water, I'm going to absolutely recommend you have one. It's also getting warmer in here.
All I can say is no one better dance with Bill.
Oh, Bill, your reputation precedes you. I'm not even going to ask. All right. So I think you'll recognize this song. Let me just put the next one on. So now here's our 4 minutes high-low interval. This is going to get your heart rate up. So again, we're sitting at the edge of the seat, and I think we'll do this. We'll do half seated, half standing, just so you get the feel. But let's start the first 30 seconds. We're marching in place. And because we're going through 4 rounds of this, I will say start low, and then with each round, progressively build up a little more. See what feels right. So,
Move it.
after 30 seconds of our higher intensity finishes, I will give you the time, and we're still going to move, but we take our energy level down a bit. So the We're basically going up here and then coming down here and then going back up here again and then down here and then way up. So 4 times. 4 minutes is going to feel like
an
a long
eternity.
time, like a long time. All right, I'm going to start the music.
I have to go. I have another appointment.
Okay. We have 30 seconds. I'll turn this a little lower. Okay, we're on the clock. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. No cheating back here. Okay. 10 seconds down. Keep going. Halfway there. 15 more seconds. Almost there. A little less than. 10 more seconds. Keep marching. Keep marching. 5, 4, 3, 2. Take it down. Now, maybe little heel taps. Let your arms come down. In about 20 seconds, we're going to pick it up again. So the idea is that when you're moving at a certain intensity, you never want to come to a complete stop. It just isn't good for our bodies to go from here to that. All right, get ready. Get set. 4, 3, 2, round 2. Maybe your feet pick up a little higher. Maybe your arms pump more vigorously. Maybe you even go a little faster. We are halfway done. 15 more seconds, almost there. We have this. 10 seconds. Remember, if Mick Jagger and Keith Richards can flaunt it on stage, we got no problems here. 3, 2, and please take it down. How we doing? If you feel like you need to take a sip of water in between, feel free. We're going to restart round 3 in about 10 seconds. Get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, we're off. Here we go. Could be more of a jog if you're feeling it. And just like that, we're down 10 seconds, only 20 to go. Almost there, almost there. 15 more seconds. We're so close. 10 seconds. Keep going, keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, and please take it down. Woo. Please keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Little easy going steps. Could be a heel tap to the front. I'm starting to sweat. Anyone else? A little bit? Isn't that amazing?
My appreciation of about 30 seconds.
Yeah. All right, round 4 coming your way in 4, 3, 2. Give it what you have. Last 30 seconds. Could be faster, could be higher knees, could be more vigorous arms. And we are halfway through. 15 more seconds, and then we'll slow it way down. Keep going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Please take it down and keep those legs moving. How do you feel your heart rate is right now? A little bit up. Anyone have a smartwatch that they keep track, or a Fitbit? Notice any difference? A little bit? Crazy, huh? Just from sitting and moving from our seat. All right, that's 30 seconds. How's everybody feeling? Well, good. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm going to absolutely recommend a drink, and then we're going to use body weight for some resistance now. So that was 4 minutes. And you can do this at home. I know it felt like an eternity, didn't it? The cool thing with this is that you can do this any time of day. You come up with it 30 when you interval. It does so much good for our hearts, for our cardio. The metabolism starts picking up, helps get rid of some weight. And then the resistance for our bones and muscles is just fantastic. So it's all such a great, great, great combination. So we just did the 4 minutes. Now for the next 3 minutes, I'm going to break this down where we work our biceps, then Popeye, triceps. These are I call them I've fallen and you know I'm getting my butt off the floor muscles, and I'll show you why. And then we'll do a little bit of chest and a little bit of back, maybe a little shoulders. So we'll start with straight up bicep curls. If you were holding hand weights, you might be holding them vertically, horizontally. This time of year, I do this most of the year anyway, hammer curls where the weights are held vertically. And I also call this the Oktoberfest lift. Works. And it's Oktoberfest time of year. So for 30 seconds, here's where we're going to start. Take your arms to your sides, please. Roll your shoulders back down and away from the ears. So now when your arms settle in, the insides of your arms are going to kind of super glue to your sides. And then we're going to lift and lower. So the only moving parts are from the elbows down to the hands. Everything else sticks to your sides. Okay, here we go. We're up and down, 30 seconds. But I'll tell you what, I'll make it 20 just because we're running lower on time. So let's go 10 more seconds. This would be biceps. Take your time with them. Quantity is not the key. Quality is. Keep going. How about one more and down? So that would have been, let's say, 30 seconds. From here, triceps. Shoulder rolls back. Now, once again, the insides of the arms are going to stick to the sides of our body. Take a 90-degree bend. A little hinge forward from the hips, and our arms extend back and in, back and in. So you should be feeling this right along the upper back part of your arm. Can you feel it? Mm-hmm. The more you squeeze those upper arms in, the more you're going to feel this. You want to keep your arms as close to your sides as possible. These are triceps. And I'll tell you why I've renamed them. I've fallen and I'm getting my butt off the floor. Okay. Take a break when you're ready. Oops. Shoot, I fell. Before I die, and this is not a falling, but I'm going to do a quick assessment. Okay, I can move. All right, I'm going to just kind of swing my legs a little bit. I found an immovable object. Could be a tree, could be a table, could be a piece of anything. These are my triceps. Ooh, wow, that worked. And then my feet are in a position where I can come up. I made that look much easier than it is, but you get the idea. Triceps. Okay, let's do a shoulder exercise. Start with your arms. They have to move a little bit so we can avoid fingers and ears. Sorry. Okay, so from here, bend at the elbows, palms facing forward. This is a shoulder press. We're pressing forward and up, basically 30 to 45 degrees above your forehead. Up and down, up and down. This is all shoulders. How's that feeling? It's a good one. It's good. It's a lot of rotator cuff here, bit of the backs of the shoulders. But we always want to keep this move forward and up. Notice the angle, because especially if I was using hand weights, if I did this directly over my head, my hand was sweaty, the weight slipped, ouch, that's not going to feel good. Also, and especially as we age, shoulders start getting a little funkier, and so it's a lot more compression here than it is here. And try it if you're curious. You can feel the difference. Go straight up. Oof, I don't like that. Now try it with the angle. Big difference. Yeah.
Now try it with 5 pounds in your
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. We did biceps, we did triceps, we did shoulders. Let's try a little bit of chest. Now we start out again. Arms out. Take the bend. This time we're going to go forward with a slight incline. Elbows come way back. Forward with a slight incline. Elbows come way back. When you come forward, you feel the backs of your shoulders come here. You should feel this along your chest and the fronts of your shoulders. Let's try a few more. Out forward with a little incline and back. Forward and back. How about 2 more? Forward, elbows way back. 1 more time. And back. And then just let your arms come on down. Take some shoulder rolls. We'll do 1 more exercise, and this is a good one for the back. And this one, I'll invite you to stand up if you're feeling it. And this is called a reverse fly. And in a reverse fly, we're going to take our feet just a little wider apart, maybe shoulder-ish distance apart. Toes slightly pointed to the corners and just little bends in our knees. We always want to keep our knees safe. We're going to bring our arms out in front. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Here's our relaxed position. Here's our exertion. Notice my shoulder blades are squeezing together here. Come in on the relaxed, out on the exertion. Arms stay relatively straight. In and out. Try this. Inhale on the way in. Exhale on the exertion. How about 3 more? In on the inhale, out on the exertion on the exhale. And again, in and out. And then 1 more time. Come on in, come on out. And then relax the arms, roll the shoulders. Come on and have a seat. And then just to finish up, I'm going to offer you right ear, right shoulder. Just let it hang down for a moment. Give the neck a little space. And then after that, we'll bring our head back up to center and lower left ear to left shoulder. And let that hang just for another breath or 2. Whoops, sorry. And then we'll bring our head back up to center. Take a good big inhale, sit up as tall as you can. When you exhale, drop your chin down to your chest. And then as you keep breathing, roll your chin up toward right or left shoulder, back to center, up over to the other shoulder, back to center. And then we'll lift our chin back up to the center and take 1 good look to the right or left side of you. Hold for about 1 breath, and then come on back to center, look the other way, and then come on back. And that was our little exercise for today. Well done, everybody.
That was awesome.
Does anyone have any questions about any of the exercises or anything I presented this morning?
How long are your classes usually?
Typically an hour. Yeah, and that is with a good full 10, 15-minute warm-up, but my warm-up starts as cardio and then it just builds. And then we do a lot of weight work. But yeah, they're typically hour classes.
And the weights are whatever, it's individual. It's Wendy doesn't tell us, go get a 10-pounder, whatever you can tolerate, so. And you
Yeah.
I am a firm
Yes.
believer in moving. I have never been a no pain, no gain, or all those other expressions. They're horrible. They mean they're irrelevant. Someone thought they were being real smart ass and came up with these and said, yeah, look at me. And now they have chronic pain all over their bodies. So there you go. Yeah, you do what you can do. And some days you may feel like you can use 10-pound weights, and other days you come in and things are hurting.
Or I find that I can maybe take a little bit heavier weight with a bicep and tricep, but I have to go to a lower weight
Lower
because
for
my
shoulders or
I can't,
backs.
I'm not out here with heavier
Right,
weight. So
right, and
I
that's
modify
it.
whatever group of muscle she's working on. I'll modify my weight.
Great.
Well, great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for those exercises.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fabulous.
excuse me,
And
sorry.
Thank you again for being here. And then And then we got a little bit of Led Zeppelin at the end.
We're just going to keep
Fantastic.
going.
Yeah.
Keep on moving, keep on
right.
moving.
That's right.
All right. So Wendy and Nina will be here for a little while afterwards if you wanted to chit chat with them as well. I wanted to thank Bill for bringing us some snacks. Please take some home with you
Yes.
as well.
And there's hot and cold packs up there.
Good timing.
That's right.
grab some
Yes.
swag as well. So next month we'll be right back here again. We're going to talk about decluttering and downsizing a little bit more, give some practical tips about where to get things gone and that kind of thing as well. And in November we'll finish up with strategies for being safe and secure in your home. So
Yeah. And as always, we always welcome new participants to come. So if you know someone who would benefit from our seminars or on different topics every month, but we'd love to see the room with more people. We want to continue to do this next year, each month, and provide something educational for folks. So please let your friends and family know, and neighbors, whoever, and we'd like to see the room filled if possible. So thank you again to Nina and Wendy. Great job.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
I hope to see you at the YMCA, either here in Leominster or in Fitchburg.
Yeah, take a
There
walk.
are free passes there.
free passes
So
on the
please-
table. Everybody take
Please
one or two.
don't hesitate.
You know, a
Yeah,
friend.
it's great.
So, all right, we'll see you next month.
Yeah, thank you.